power of forgiveness, healing yourself, and others. Introduction. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful and simultaneously underestimated forces in human life. It can not only break the chains of pain and resentment, but also restore harmony and inner peace. Each of us has faced situations where hurt, injustice, or betrayal left a deep mark on our soul. Yet through forgiveness, we gain the opportunity to heal our wounds and reconnect with the world around us. Many perceive forgiveness as a sign of weakness or submission. In reality, it is strength. It is a conscious choice that allows a person to free themselves from toxic emotions, stop being a prisoner of the past, and become the master of their inner life. Forgiveness is not a justification of someone else's actions. It is a way to release their destructive influence on yourself. Chapter 666. 1. The nature of resentment and its consequences. To understand the power of forgiveness, it is important to recognize what resentment is and how it affects our lives. Resentment is an emotional reaction to perceived injustice, humiliation, or betrayal. It can be overt or hidden, lingering in the subconscious and gradually eroding the psyche. When someone holds a grudge, they are essentially binding themselves to the source of their pain. We expend enormous energy on replaying events, dwelling on anger, and nurturing indignation instead of focusing on the present and future. Physical health suffers too. Chronic stress, high blood pressure, sleep disturbances, and digestive issues are all consequences of persistent emotional tension. Psychologists note that an inability to forgive leads to long-term psychological blockages. We begin to perceive the world through a lens of distrust and fear, building barriers around ourselves. Over time, this hinders not only relationships, but also personal development. Chapter 2. Forgiveness as an act of strength. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is an expression of inner strength. It requires the courage to face the truth, acknowledge the pain, accept it, and then let it go. Unlike revenge or resentment, forgiveness is a conscious action, independent of the other person's behavior. When we forgive, we do not say what you did was right. We say, I release myself from this pain and will no longer allow it to control my life. Forgiveness liberates both the soul and the body, allowing a return to harmony and the fullness of life. Research shows that people capable of forgiveness enjoy better health, cope with stress more effectively, and build more resilient relationships. Forgiveness is a key to inner freedom. Chapter 3. Self-forgiveness. The first step to healing. Very often, we forget that forgiveness begins with ourselves. Self-forgiveness is the ability to acknowledge your mistakes, release guilt, and accept yourself as you are. Many live with the belief that they must be perfect. Every mistake becomes a source of internal suffering. Self-forgiveness frees us from these chains. It allows us to look at ourselves with compassion and understanding rather than with criticism and condemnation. The practice of self-forgiveness involves several key steps: acknowledging the mistake honestly, without excuses; accepting your emotions, allowing yourself to feel pain, shame, or disappointment; releasing guilt, understanding that mistakes are part of life and growth; committing to change, moving toward a better version of yourself without self-punishment. Self-forgiveness strengthens inner resilience and lays the foundation for forgiving others. Chapter 4. Forgiving others. The path to harmony. Forgiving others requires no less courage. It begins with the realization that every person acts according to their beliefs, fears, and limitations. Understanding that the offender is likely struggling internally too helps reduce negative emotions. Forgiving someone is a process that may take time. Instant forgiveness is rarely possible, especially if the hurt was deep. It is important to respect your feelings and progress gradually. Emotional acknowledgement. Accept the pain caused by another person. Expression of feelings. Talk to yourself, or if safe, even to the offender. Letting go. A conscious act of releasing the grudge. Forgiveness does not mean restoring the relationship or forgetting. It means restoring your inner balance. Chapter 5. practices, and techniques for forgiveness. There are various methods that help develop the ability to forgive: meditation and visualization, focusing on thoughts of forgiveness and releasing pain; journaling, writing down your emotions and reflections on forgiveness; affirmations, repeating positive statements related to letting go of resentment; creative emotional release; art, music, or writing helps process pain; professional support, consulting a psychologist or spiritual mentor, accelerates healing; regular practice of forgiveness strengthens emotional resilience and makes a person more open to life. Chapter 6. Stories of healing through forgiveness. Countless stories show how forgiveness transforms lives. For instance, a person betrayed by a loved one found peace by forgiving the offender. Another who suffered injustice ceased being a prisoner of the past and gained the ability to help others. These examples confirm that forgiveness is not an abstract concept but a real power capable of changing life. Conclusion: the power of forgiveness lies in its ability to heal both yourself and others. It frees you from pain, opens the path to harmony, and restores the joy of life. Forgiveness is a choice that makes us stronger, wiser, and happier. One can start small, with self-forgiveness, with the understanding that every person, including ourselves, deserves compassion. With every step, forgiveness strengthens us and makes the world around us brighter. Ultimately, forgiveness is the path to freedom. Freedom from grudges, pain, and the past. Freedom to live fully, to love and be loved, to heal and be healed.